Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of
Rating Arizona.
Beers, brought to you by the one, the only King's Beer and Wine, located on
Central and Thomas.
Central and Thomas. Midtown is what we've discussed, and we're going to say it's Midtown.
Midtown. Has the Little Miss Barbecue opened up yet? Do you know? Did you see?
I have no idea.
Oh,
No.
man.
I'm not the foodie person.
I know, man. I know. I should know that.
I eat only to live.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't enjoy eating?
I don't live to eat. No.
Ah,
I know, you're a live to eat guy.
You ever live to drink beer guy?
I guess.
Yeah.
So,
if I had to choose, I would choose food.
yes,
I
absolutely.
Would. Yeah.
I would.
Yep.
I would not. So, anyways, we're your hosts. This is the great Eric Walters.
Eric Walters.
And
Thanks, buddy.
And I'm Marcus. So, anyways,
We're the Marcus.
the Marcus,
The Pina.
the piña, the pineapple. Hey, so today, this is cool. We have a beer out of PHX Beer Co.
Heck yeah. Love those guys.
Yeah, PHX Beer Co. This is an interesting one. This is hilarious. If you guys are watching, I don't know how these are going to be released, but we just did a beer out of Grand Canyon called it was a pale ale.
Yes.
Yeah, coming in at 7% ABV. Anyways, this is Zanjero Juicy IPA coming in. It's a juicy IPA coming in a whopping 6.3% ABV.
So this IPA is a lower ABV than the pale ale that we had before.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. And this is El Dorado, Azacca, and Citra.
Okay.
So-
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah. So Azacca, Citra are very similar, and El Dorado, those are all pineapple to me.
Okay.
Except for the Citra, obviously, which is more citrus.
Yeah.
But Azacca and El Dorado are a pineapple. So I'm excited.
Heck yeah.
And then Zanjero, we did a little. The name was familiar to me, and then I remembered it's like a lower. I was thinking in my head is like a lower job, kind of like a lower grunt kind of thing.
Okay. Like
And
a
then-
laborer type of.
Laborer, yeah, lower end laborer, and then you looked it up, and they are the ditch riders.
Yeah, that's Spanish for ditch riders.
That's so cool.
So they're the ones that basically work the canal and to get water into the valleys for the last 140 years.
Yeah,
Since the
1800s.
1880s.
Yeah.
So very cool. And PHX Beer Co. Big fan of PHX Beer Co. I always say that their best beers are not the ones that you see a lot, right?
Yeah.
The ones you see, the Golden Ale, and you see the PHX Beer Co. the 12-ounce
IPA.
cans. Those aren't my favorites. But then you have Beyond the Peel Pale Ale. You have their Monsoon IPA.
Monsoon
which,
is really good.
yeah, that won best hazy IPA at the Arizona Craft Beer Awards.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they make some really good beers, man. I love those guys too. Just a great group of dudes, and I'm excited for this, man. This is a new one. This is like their new release. I actually got to taste it at Copper State Beer Fest this past weekend. So
Yeah,
or
I don't
2
think
weekends
I
ago.
stopped in. You know, it's weird. I didn't stop in a few places that I didn't even know were there. And I
it was hard. There was a lot of places there, man.
Places.
Copper State did a really good job. There was a ton of places. Even what I liked was there were tap rooms. Wicked Rain down in Gilbert. I
Bottle
think it's
Shop
Gilbert.
48.
Yeah. And they had
Chupacabra.
Chupacabra, and they all seem to have like a specific. Either they did collaborations or what was that? What'd you do?
I could smell. I could actually
you
when
were
I
doing like a
poured it,
magic trick.
I could smell the beer
Yeah.
from here. So I was like, I want to get the aroma over here.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I was just gonna go off on an unrelated thing.
What?
but,
A tangent?
A tangent? Yeah. Yeah, you know.
Walters?
Oh,
No.
right. Ditch Riders, right there. It says right there on the back of the can.
Hey, look, if we just read the can, we would know. Like looking it up on your phone. We're like, how do we find this information?
We're
PHX
getting
Beer-
dumber as we get
PHX
smarter.
Beer Co. is on top of it.
They actually use wheat in this as well.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's a hazy IPA.
Oh.
Yeah, hazy IPA. That's a key ingredient. Either they'll use flaked wheat or flaked oats is a very common because of the proteins. It doesn't really add to the ABV too much, but they're trying to get as much protein as possible because the haze is just the protein in suspension.
Okay.
It doesn't
Okay.
drop out. Doesn't flocculate is the actual term. So more protein, more haze.
Ooh, I like it.
And this is, again, orange juice in color, fluffy white head. See how persistent this head is? It's already grabbing legs on that.
The lacing,
The
as
lacing,
they call it,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Which is a great sign,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, and that's going to dry by aroma.
Now this is go ahead. When they were telling me about this, they were specific about it being juicy, not hazy specifically, right? So what is the difference between juicy and hazy?
Tomato, potato.
Well, actually, tomatoes and potatoes are very different.
Oh, yeah, they are. That's
potato,
right.
Potato.
That's what I was going to say.
When I was a kid, I used to get them mixed up, and I would order grilled cheese and potato soup.
Nice.
And my parents would be like, "You don't want." I'm like, "That's what I
tomato
want." So she would bring potato soup. I'm like,
Potato soup's actually pretty good.
It is,
Right.
but not with a grilled cheese. You got to have tomato soup with
true.
grilled cheese.
I always do these sayings purposefully, obviously, to screw my kids up. That was like one of my goals in life when I had kids was like, I really want to screw them up with these sayings.
Confuse them.
Yeah, confuse them. Absolutely confuse them. Like, I always tell my kids, that's the way the ball crumbles.
That's good.
That's
awesome.
That's how the cookie bounces.
That's how the cookie bounces.
And so I've done that since they were kids. So now they say it too, knowing that it's not correct.
Yeah.
But they do it on purpose because they think it's funny. So.
I have a buddy that does that same stuff, just not unknowingly. He would, like, me and my buddy were, like, just got in a wrestling match and broke a table one time. He's like, dude, you guys are like bullseyes in China. I'm like, what is that?
Bullseyes in China. Nice.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's a double-edged coin, he would always say, too.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I like to do with the kids, just to screw them up. Anyways, the dry-by aroma in this is amazing. It's
very good.
It's got, again, a bunch of orange juice kind of character. Now, you were saying juicy and hazy. So I think they're just saying juicy as far as the character of the beer.
Sure.
But, it's hazy.
For sure. Yeah.
Juicy IPA is not a style, right?
Okay.
And hazy IPA, since I think 2015 or whatever, is a style now. So it's an actual recognized style.
Yeah.
Juicy IPA is not really recognized.
Well, I think Mother Road is considered a juicy IPA as well.
Really?
The Tower Station, yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But
that's not a hazy either.
It's not hazy.
Right?
That's a West Coast.
Really?
I would say so. Mother Road?
Tower Station?
Tower Station?
Yeah.
I would say Tower Station is
I
a West Coast.
I think it's juicy.
Well, the dry-by aroma is amazing, by the way.
It is.
So, yeah, definitely a lot of citrus in this thing. To me, that's what it is. It's like tangerine, orange peel. You got a little bit of grapefruit in there. I don't pick up as much pineapple as I was thinking I was going to get out of it. To me, it's more of that orange juice kind of character.
Yeah. Well, and also I noticed that it's got some more bitterness to the aroma. Like you can tell there's some more bitterness in it than just like the sweeter side of it.
Bitterness to the aroma?
Yeah. That's another beer name right there. Like, no, you can kind of tell, like, because sometimes with the hazies, they're straight up orange juice, right? So you know that they're going to be, the bitterness on the taste is going to be a little. I don't know what the aroma of bitterness is, but
there is no aroma of bitterness. So you are on point today, my man. Let's get
Cheers,
a taste
man.
on it. Cheers, brother.
It's very aromatic in its flavor.
Yeah. I could totally taste the smell.
Taste blue. No.
So it's interesting. It's very juicy.
Right?
God damn it.
It is. Yes.
No. It does drink kind of like orange juice. It drinks very orange juice, but it's not much bitterness.
You see, I feel like it's got a little bit more. Maybe bitterness is the wrong word, but it's got kind of the what is it? The rind taste to the pith.
Pithy.
Yeah. It's got a little bit, which is great, right? Because that, as we were talking to, we've been getting him shouts out. He's right over here. Grant from Innocence Beer Co. dropped off this bottle for us to try out at some point.
I'm gonna try that.
But we were talking about how, some of these hazy IPAs are just sweet, right?
Yeah.
They're too much. Where the ones that we tend to enjoy are kind of a balance of that, the sweetness with the with some bitterness to it, right?
Yeah.
I think this one did a really, really good job of that.
So yeah, I'm gonna completely disagree with everything you just said.
You should. So that's your job.
So their IBU on this shows 20, which I probably think could be even less than that. But 20 is like nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, the pale ale we just had is probably like 40 or, you know what I mean, IBU or more. The porter we had is probably 50 or 60 IBU.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
So 20 IBU is like nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, so essentially that means they probably put no hops on the hot side.
Okay.
I mean, it's probably all just dry hop.
Yeah.
Because to me, like I get no bitterness.
So
like, I get none.
Well, but do you agree on the pithiness of it? Like you get that. So to me, those are kind of the same, right? But and this is me learning this stuff as well, right? Because you obviously, what you understand and your depth of understanding is much greater than mine. What is the difference between like bitterness that would lead to, IBUs compared to pith, which to me has a bitter taste?
Yeah. So I mean, so I think what you're getting is more of like a fresh hop astringency, and I think astringency can be perceived as that pithy, like whenever you bite, like when you're starting an orange,
Yep.
And you start by biting into the peel to kind of start it.
Yep.
That spray you get, and it's like a bitter kind of
Yeah.
thing. Well, hops could do that same thing.
Okay.
So if you have a lot of fresh hops in a beer, you get that green, astringent, kind of a thing going with it, because there's a lot of dry hops in there.
Okay.
And we're not filtering out these hops whenever we're transferring and kegging and doing all this other stuff. So a lot of times too, you'll get some hops. Like I don't know if you've ever had a really hoppy beer, and then you kind of look at it, and then you can see a bunch of matter kind of getting on the bottom of the glass.
Yeah.
You get some of that hop matter that kind of just falls to the bottom. Well, that'll give you that strong astringency as well.
Okay.
But this, you're right, it does have a fresh hop astringency, which over time fades from beer. So,
like, I won't say almost instantly, but pretty much the day that it's going to start to.
Yep.
Yeah. Does it have a rise and then a fall?
Yeah, definitely a rise.
Yeah.
So when you can a super fresh IPA and it has that pithy astringent, or it could even be like
Hop burn.
puckering. Yeah,
You get a hop burn
yeah,
sometime,
absolutely.
yeah.
But yeah, that could last for weeks. So you can get like 2 or 3 weeks, and then finally, after like 3 weeks, that beer hits its peak.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh man, this is drinking really nice. And
Yeah.
it'll drink nice like that for like 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
And then it starts to crash.
Yeah. Okay.
So after 5 or 6 months, IPA is it's no longer fresh.
Which is why when you go to the big places that have a ton of IPAs on
Shoulder
the warm
wine.
shelf, on the shelf, and I've had a lot of. It took me a long time to like IPAs because that's where I would go, right, and I would get it off of a warm the shelf. It's warm. I'm like, oh, this is gross. And now when I go, it's been forever since I've been in one of those places because now we have Trevor's, right? Trevor's is awesome.
Trevor's is
Two
this.
Trevor's.
Two Trevor's is this.
Yeah.
This is,
It's not called Two Trevor's, but there's a new Trevor's opened up.
yeah, just out there in North Scottsdale.
Yeah, that's right by me. That's like 20 minutes from my house. Grant's digging into that Little O's breakfast pizza, man. Hell yeah,
I got a Little O's breakfast pizza.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's good stuff.
That was a big O, not a little O. No, they did a great job. But so I've heard that too, that some places will, and it's hard to do, right? Because you can a beer, you want to get it out like that day.
Right.
But I've heard of places that will sit on some IPAs
Yes.
to just let them kind of settle out a little bit, so they're not as green, not as astringent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's a tough thing to do, obviously, to sit on beer for a week or two, especially if you're a facility and you want to sell it. But
Yeah.
that could be a smart thing because you don't want to get something in someone's hands that they don't enjoy. But
Yeah.
this is very enjoyable.
I love this beer, man. This is a really, really good beer.
Yeah, Phoenix Beer Co. I've to me, the spot's really cool.
Yeah.
I like the spot. I mean, a huge spot, and they're
On
very
Washington.
supportive
Yeah.
of Ash, Arizona Society of Homebrewers.
Yeah.
We get brew outs there. They walk us through their equipment and work deaths, and just a fun environment. I like the food there too; it's really good.
Yeah.
Just a cool place. But some of the beers, like Eric was saying, that they can and put out there, you're just like, it's a good beer, but you're probably not it's not like a go-to in the
Right.
fridge all the time.
Yep.
If it's available, you'll probably get it, but not going to go out of my way to buy the beer.
Yeah.
I'd go out of my way to buy that beer.
Absolutely. That one, and was it Monsoon?
Monsoon's
Howlin' Oats, I think, I think they still, I don't know if that's a seasonal or if that's constant. Beyond the Peel Pale Ale, man, all really, really great beers. And so they've got the one facility, their main facility on Washington,
Yep.
which is so cool. That tap room that just opens up into, you can watch the whole process. And they've got like cornhole and stuff all inside, which is great. That's a great summer spot.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
But then they have the place, I don't know if you've ever been to their spot on like Hayden and Via Linda, I think.
I have not.
So they have it's like a restaurant brew pub at like right on this like little pond lake up in Scottsdale.
Oh, wow.
That's really cool. They used to have the, the Uptown Kitchen on like 7th Street.
Yeah.
Because it used to be Phoenix Ale. Phoenix Ale.
Company.
Yeah, and they did that watermelon ale. Remember, that was like a popular one. And then I can't remember the guy's name. He was a legend in Arizona beer. He passed away and left the brewery to his son, and they rebranded it as PHX Beer Co. Brought in Adam. Adam was like the regional main dude for Lagunitas for a long time. He's a Phoenix native. Adam's just a great dude, and so love PHX Beer Co. I really love that that they're coming out with beers like this that are ones that we will seek out.
Yep,
you know,
absolutely.
because nothing against the guys, but that the Phoenix School Nail or whatever that was called, and the IPA and the 12-ounce cans, just never really jived with those. But Beyond the Peel was one of the first that I was like, holy shit, man, these guys are making some good stuff. And then they just continue coming out with more and more stuff. So nice work, guys.
Absolutely.
Now we got to grade this thing, huh?
Oh, yeah. And should we base it off of a pale ale? Or I don't even know what we're doing anymore with styles. I guess we're grading it off of an IPA.
For sure. Yeah, a hazy.
Hazy IPA.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'll go first. I'm at a 9 with this one.
I'd say 8.75 for me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. This was a great beer, man. I will
Very,
get
very
this
good.
one more often. They're really excited about this one, too, because this is our new brand. This is the new one coming out for them to kind of support, that monsoon IPA. And, so nice work, guys. Nice
Excellent
work on this one. Yeah.
Hey, and we appreciate King's Beer and Wine for hosting us.
Absolutely.
We hope you guys keep watching these shows. It gives us a little bit of motivation to keep coming out here and doing this. Like if we need any motivation to come out to King's and have beer. But, anyways, I do appreciate you guys watching. And, please do let us know if there's beers you want us to try.
Yes.
We're going to start trying to do some more podcasts during business hours.
Yep.
And so during business hours, if you guys could come down here and support us and, get a pint of beer and support Kings,
Yep.
that would be fantastic.
Yep. Kind of the goal too. We talked about this, but we're going to do Zanjero, and we're going to have an audience here with us. We're guiding them along in the tasting as well.
That'd be awesome.
Getting feedback from them and really getting people involved, because that's what these places are about. It's about coming in and enjoying yourself and being around other people.
Absolutely.
As much as I like to drink alone, I like to drink with other people even more.
That was my New Year's resolution, by the way.
What?
Was, okay, so, I do, it's so funny because, the wife would, on say Saturday, would get the kids and be like, hey, we're going to go run errands, because she knows, like, I don't want to go to Sam's Club,
Target and
go
stuff
to
like
IKEA
that.
and Target. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm good, And,
Well, if you have to, because you're a
I
good
would go,
husband.
right. I would go, but anyway, so she would get, she'd normally go to the grocery store, whatever, and then I'm like, all right, the wife's gone. I'm going to go grab myself a beer and just hang out and watch TV, right?
Yeah.
So my New Year's resolution was, I got to stop doing that. Just drinking alone.
No more
thing.
drinking alone.
So it was more like, hey, if she grabs a beer, or no, she doesn't drink beer. If she grabs like some wine or whatever, and she's going to, then I'll go grab, we'll grab a beer and have a beer with her, and while she's having her wine or whatever, but yeah. So New Year's resolution was, so like Friday she doesn't usually drink, so my last several Fridays and like haven't had no beer, no
That's
nothing.
work,
just,
man.
yeah, and it's all about control and all this other stuff, which I have very little of, and realized how much I didn't have control, even though I thought I did.
Yeah,
Sure,
but absolutely.
Yeah. So, anyways,
Yep.
that and this whole, I had started dry January, pretty good too. Only drinking brute IPAs.
That's this year?
That's a beer joke, by the way, guys.
Because it's champagne?
No, because it's dry.
I didn't even get it. Oh, man.
All right, guys.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Cheers.
But another one we can't even cheers at the end because
Oh,
we have no beer left.
Damn it.
Nice work, guys.